Hundreds of thousands of packages stuck as ZTO workers strike. Hangzhou delivery worker dies after more than 100 daily orders. Food poisoning outbreak among delivery workers in Zhengzhou. Comparing the dormitories of local versus African students in China. Recently, there's been a big problem with package delays at a ZTO express station in Wuhan. Hundreds of thousands of packages have piled up there. It turns out the issue started because the station's owner hasn't been paying the staff, and the delivery workers went on strike. One of the delivery workers told reporters, "We haven't been paid in 2 months. The boss keeps saying the company is struggling, but we still have to eat and live." He mentioned that many of the workers are facing tough situations, with some even unable to pay rent. They've asked the owner multiple times for their wages, but they never got a response. He added, "We had no choice but to stop working. We just hope the company pays attention and fixes this." As a result, many residents are unable to get their packages on time and are very anxious about it. One customer said their package had been marked as arrived for 3 days, but they haven't been able to pick it up from the station. They said, "It's not just me. No one can get their packages." A resident, Ms. Lee, told reporters that she got a notification 3 days ago saying her package had arrived at the station, but when she got there, the doors were locked. Some workers were sitting outside, smoking and chatting. They told her, "We're not working anymore, so you can't pick up your package." Ms. Lee said, "It's not just my package. Everyone's packages are stuck there, piled up, and no one is delivering them." She explained that she's been checking every day for updates, but it keeps giving the same answer. The boss isn't paying wages, so no one's working. Ms. Lee's situation isn't unique. Another resident, Mr. Zhang, said that his online shopping package hadn't moved in 3 days either. He said, "I haven't received any deliveries for days, and no one answers their phone at the station. Now I just have to wait and see when this gets sorted out." ZTO headquarters responded, saying they've sent extra staff and deliveries are slowly getting back on track. But for many residents, the waiting these past few days has been frustrating. One user commented online, "Delivery workers are employees too. It's really unacceptable for them not to get paid." On September 6, a man in his 50s working as a food delivery driver suddenly passed away while on his electric bike in Hangzhou, Zhejiang province. According to people familiar with the situation, this delivery driver was known for his dedication to his job. He worked hard, taking more than 100 orders daily across 2 different platforms, earning over 500 yuan a day. He was even called the king of orders in his area. When there were no orders, he would sleep on his electric bike, jumping up to take new orders as soon as his phone rang. He had even slept under bridges. Tragically, it wasn't until nightfall that people discovered he had passed away. One online user commented, "The prolonged high temperatures this year are unprecedented. In such heat, for a man in his 50s to be out delivering food is just heartbreaking. Life isn't easy, and so many people are fighting for survival. This is a tragedy." An education blogger remarked, "This man was in his 50s, probably supporting both elderly parents and children. At this age, the burden is heavy, and he was the sole breadwinner for his family. Everyone depended on him. In middle age, finding a suitable job is even harder. Only he truly knew the weight on his shoulders. They say to take care of your health, but who doesn't want to? Often, people are forced by life circumstances. His whole life was spent like a working ox, just for some grass, spending his entire life just to get by. Rest in peace, sir." Another user expressed, "Who truly understands the hardships of ordinary people? In the past, even rickshaw pullers rarely died from exhaustion." According to data released by the Chinese state media, the immense work pressure in China leads to 600,000 deaths annually from overwork. Overwork seems to have become the norm in Chinese workplaces, with China being the leading country for deaths from overwork. When it comes to the cause, one online user pointed out, "It's the system, an unfair system." Some blame the death of the delivery worker on the exploitation by food delivery platforms. These platforms profit from 3 groups: the merchant, the consumers, and the delivery drivers themselves. China's food delivery platforms use big data and algorithms to trap delivery workers, gradually turning them into machines running endless deliveries. But workers stuck in survival mode have no power to negotiate with these platforms. Finally, someone has spoken out. On September 8th, a post on X caught attention. A Meituan delivery driver in Shanghai held up a sign calling for a Chinese Martin Luther King for the times. The sign read, "Today's society needs communication and negotiation mechanisms between different social classes. We workers are human, not beasts of burden. We want our own unions and someone to represent our interests. We demand an 8-hour workday, not 300 or even 400 hours a month. We want 2 days off each week. The progress of society should give people more time to live better, not deprive them of time to live." A user commented, "He still hasn't figured it out. These things are only possible in a democratic system. To get fairness and justice, you first need democracy." At noon on September 8th, in Zhengdong New District, Zhengzhou, Henan Province, a company ordered 51 portions of huangmen chicken with rice from a restaurant. After eating, more than 20 employees began experiencing symptoms of food poisoning, including dizziness, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and high fever. The company had ordered the meals from a local restaurant, and so far, 6 employees have been hospitalized. Relevant authorities are now investigating the case. Several employees recalled that the food tasted slightly off compared to previous times. Ms. Wang, one of the employees, said, "At first, I thought it tasted a bit strange, like it wasn't fresh and had a slightly sour taste, but since I was hungry, I didn't pay much attention." However, about 30 minutes later, things started to go wrong. The first to feel ill was a staff member from the finance department. He said, "Not even 20 minutes after I finished eating, I started feeling uncomfortable in my stomach, and soon after, I had diarrhea." Before long, more employees began experiencing the same symptoms. Some clutched their stomachs, while others turned pale and broke into a cold sweat. Seeing this, Ms. Zhang, the manager of the administration department, quickly counted the affected employees and contacted a nearby hospital. The company used its vehicles to rush more than 20 employees to the emergency department of Zhengzhou's First People's Hospital for checkups and treatment. According to the doctor's initial assessments, most patients showed symptoms of acute gastroenteritis, with a preliminary diagnosis of food poisoning. Dr. Zhang, the head of the emergency department, told reporters, "The patients are experiencing vomiting, diarrhea, and stomach pain, and a few have a mild fever." The doctor also noted that while all patients' conditions are currently classified as mild to moderate, with no life-threatening cases, they will need to stay in the hospital for further observation and treatment. Some have already received intravenous fluids, as well as medication to stop vomiting and diarrhea. Dr. Zhang added, "We've collected samples from some of the patients for testing to identify the exact cause of the food poisoning. The health department has also stepped in and will test the batch of food in question." Meanwhile, the Zhengzhou market regulation authorities have inspected the restaurant involved, sealed the relevant ingredients, and sent samples to a food testing center for further analysis. The restaurant, however, has shown a dismissive attitude, only offering to reimburse 900 yuan for the meals. They said, "It's not like what people are saying online. If it's our fault, we'll take the responsibility. But if there's no issue on our side, we'll ask them to take down the video. We've already reported this to the police." A user named Foodie Squad commented, "Reading news like this is really unsettling, especially with takeout and fast food. You never know when you might be next." As the new school year begins, many parents and students have taken to social media to reveal the poor conditions in some school dormitories across China. Problems like outdated facilities, insufficient electricity, poor hygiene, and inadequate heating have been reported, sparking concerns about student safety. In some cases, such as in the girls' dormitories, there aren't even proper locks on the doors, which has further fueled anxiety among parents. On September 7th, parents of new students at a key high school in Ziyang, Sichuan, were shocked when they saw the state of the dormitories. They were greeted by moldy walls and falling tiles. Earlier, on September 2nd, students at a school in Hangzhou also faced similarly poor dormitory conditions at the start of the new school year. In December 2023, a parent from a junior high school in Luonan County, Shanxi Province, shared a video showing that there were no heating facilities in the school dormitories. Worse still, students were not allowed to use electric blankets or hot water bottles. The freezing conditions left students with frostbite on their hands and feet, even though they were bundled up in layers of clothing. The problem isn't limited to primary and secondary schools. Students have openly complained about the poor living conditions, even at some of China's most prestigious universities such as Northwest A&F University in Shanxi, Beijing University of Chemical Technology, Huazhong University of Science and Technology in Wuhan, Guizhou University, Jilin University, and South China Agricultural University in Guangdong. Many dormitory buildings are old and poorly maintained, with severe mold problems, peeling walls, and cracked floors. Aging electrical systems often lead to frequent power outages, dim lighting, and strict limitations on electricity use. Students have also reported cramped living spaces, with 4 to 6 people sharing a room, leaving little to no personal space. Some dormitory hallways are narrow, and there are often no elevators. In many universities, the communal hygiene facilities are outdated and poorly cleaned. Shared bathrooms and toilets are often in bad condition, with no private bathrooms or even hot water available. During the hot summer months, students without air conditioning have resorted to sleeping on the rooftops for relief. In winter, the lack of heating has forced students to sleep in thick coats, yet many still shiver through the night. In October 2023, a PhD student from Fudan University posted online about the subpar living conditions there. Photos showed large sections of the ceiling peeling away, revealing gray concrete underneath. The desks were old and filthy, with some areas already moldy. The situation in the shared bathrooms was reportedly even worse, making it difficult for students to use them comfortably. At the same time, other users shared images of the dorms provided to international students at Fudan University, which were luxurious by comparison. The international dorms had high-quality beds, desks, and decor, making them look more like furnished apartments. This sparked outrage among Chinese students, who questioned why domestic PhD students were being treated so poorly. One commenter summed up the frustration: "With treatment like this for our talents, it's no wonder people don't want to come back." The preferential treatment given to international students, especially in terms of living conditions, has been a hot topic in China. Most Chinese universities provide foreign students with either single or double rooms that are spacious, comfortable, and well-equipped. These dorms typically include beds, desks, wardrobes, refrigerators, internet, and more. Each room usually has a private bathroom, air conditioning, 24-hour hot water, and heating systems. Some dorms even have kitchens or communal kitchens, along with amenities like gyms and entertainment rooms. In November 2023, Chinese students visited the dorms at Hainan University, which were designated for African international students. They were amazed by the luxurious amenities, which included washing machines and refrigerators, leaving many Chinese students feeling envious of the stark difference in treatment.